Hi everybody, welcome to your monthlies. We are transferring from Pisces to Aries. So to start, Aries, happy birthday to all the girls and boys. Aries is the first actually sign of the zodiac. It's considered as like big boy or big girl. It's that kind of starting exuberant energy. Aries is basically highly associated with Fool, somebody who is charging in all direction, exploring new possibilities, and going forward. So before we move on, I just really want to tell you that we are nearing the end of the promotion. So my 20-minute reading is $30 US and 40-minute reading is $65. So also guys, once when you get a reading, I actually do send you coupons, so that way in the future you can even get a better deal. So if you actually are considering readings, I would say to take advantage of these prices. However, if you want to take a chance and getting a free reading, then please join my Facebook account where, just by joining it, you're going to be automatically entered in a draw, and that's going to be the Easter draw, and somebody is going to win the prize over there. So if this is the way you want to go, or just you want to be on a Facebook because there's going to be additional information, I really would love to see you there as well. But also it's a good opportunity to interact with the other people who love tarot and who maybe want to learn about it, because I'll be posting interesting tips on it. So talking about tips, let's start today. I really want to talk to you about the issue, and really let's address this issue through this Queen of Swords and King of Swords, because I highly identify with these two cards. So let's go into what Queen of Swords is and King of Swords. They both are very experienced, basically, character in tarot. They have really high energy, sword energy. Sword is really heavy. To keep it like what she's keeping, really upright, it takes lots of energy and lots of muscle. In the other card that you see from Cat Tarot people, she's keeping it down. So that's because she's in a good mood that day. But trust me, that sword is really heavy and can hit very hard. And the sword people are really fair people, but they are not the most emotional people. So you can tell in my readings that, I tell the truth. I don't go around. I don't kind of like try to sugarcoat it, because I feel that even if it's a bad information, sometimes it helps, because it helps you reach the closure. So if these two people, Queen of Swords or King of Swords, go really badly, then they actually create lots of narcissism, lots of ego energy, and sometimes like you see that around. And this is what basically has happened on my channel. I knew this is going to happen sooner or later because it's a new channel, but I did get a comment from a person who was basically really complaining about the cats on the channel. As most of you know, the channel is called Cat Tarot. First of all, I'm Cat and I have cats. So it's not only that I love cats, I love all animals, but just like so it happens that I actually share my love with cats, life with cats, and I'm learning quite a bit from them. They basically pacify me. They have this enormous, clear energy, and I really love them. The comment that I received today was the following: I rescued cats, dogs, birds, and more for over 25 years, but they don't belong in too many psychic readings. It totally breaks the energy and connection for me. Whoa. So okay, what is then better than let's pull the card about this whole comment, and let's learn a little bit where this person is coming from. Maybe, maybe I'm not getting something, and I'm always open to kind of learning new things. Oops, we have a jumper. And let me pull my, I don't know if you can see this, or I can zoom in too much. And I pulled in my Vera Sibilla cards. Oops. Jumpers. Oops. And let's have one more. There you go. Alright, so what do we have? And you know what, to be fair, I really don't think that I should interpret it, so I'm going to really read it from the book of basically interpretation. As far as Wheel of Fortune, I mean, this is really clear to everybody. It is not in the upright kind of situations, it is downward, and so obviously it represents negativity. represents something that, you know, it's certainly a change, and it's a change in a way that this is the first, to me, highly inappropriate comment. So what I'm going to read to you is from the book about haughtiness. So we have the peacock, but this peacock is in reverse. So this peacock in the upright position here, it's basically being conceived because in Catholicism, Italy's main religion, and these are Italian cards, even though they call them Gypsy cards. The peacock is a symbol of immortality, resurrection, and of Jesus. In the Middle Ages, in the book, St. Augustine in the City of God believed the peacock had antiseptic qualities and did not rot. So, however, when this peacock is being represented, yeah, this is the book, by the way. When peacock is in reverse, it says the following. Here, this card has a completely opposite meaning to that of its upright counterpart. The peacock is seen as a symbol of vanity and ostentation, of superiority over others, pride, lack of humility, being unforgiving and prejudiced. It represents an extremely arrogant person, blinded by pride and hungry for power. That's a shallow person focused on outward appearances and social climbing, a person that will do anything to get what they want. It represents a liar. It can also represent a tendency to get angry and someone who loves to be flattered and be the center of attention. Whoa, now you're center of attention, so I hope you get what you really want. So it goes and on for a couple of pages, so let's not go on with it. So let's see the child in reverse. So of course, as you can imagine, the child is a really happy occasion, as you can tell, right? Which is kind of a neutral card, and it's like everybody's rather looking forward to a child unless it is in reverse. So let's see what reverse meaning is. It says this. This card represents something that is not yet ready to be born, a situation that is still immature. So this meaning can of course be broadened to include adults. When reversed, this card lengthens the time frame indicated by other cards in the spread. This card is symbolic of someone who is inexperienced, who can be gullible, but who is really not right for the entry into the adult world. When this card describes painful circumstances, it does so by saying that it is a pain that stings one to the quick and has deeply affected the querent. So yeah, I mean, somebody touched my kids, how do you think I would feel? And you know, this kind of whole expertise all together is not well. And also in the closing here it says this card also describes someone with a Peter Pan syndrome who's refusing to grow up and who's refusing to take responsibility for their actions. So reunion is sort of self-explanatory. So this is something that is not starting. This is somebody who is negative. So here I'll give you the verdict, Mr. Commenter. I'm breaking up with you. This is not working out. We are not on the same vibe level. I don't want to be negative. I want to be this Queen of Swords and King of Swords, being fair, giving people advice without wrapping it in a sugar coating. But we certainly learn what King of Swords reversed is, and that's who you are. You think you are basically an expert, you think you're knowing all, and you think like, we should be listening to your advice, and I don't know for which reason. So yeah, I'm breaking up with you. I do wish you well. I really hope you find whoever you want to find, but please don't come to my channel anymore, and please don't harass me anymore. So thank you very much, and let's move to the positive things, because you know what I had this beautiful reading for Aries to do, and in the end I think Safi wants to have a few words about the comment, and of course Safi has to add her commentary. Hi Saggies, and welcome to your monthly forecast. So let's see what the month of basically Aries is bringing up for you. The basic energy for you is Fire Kitten reversed. So somebody got burnt and somebody is suffering the consequences from it, and that's going to be a theme of the month. However, that is a fire energy, it is your energy, so it's not going to be really difficult energy for you to absorb. So let's see what is basically the starting point in this month. Whoa, 10 of fire coupled with Hermit. Are you back to it, Sagis? What happened? You had some turbulence, and the turbulence went away, and now we are running for life again. So what is going on? What kind of burden you're leaving behind it? What do you want to run away from? And why do you want to kind of like completely close yourself and like withdraw from life? How is this happening again? We'll see what's going on here, Sagis. You're coming to this month with you did speak some words that somebody didn't like here, and I think this is why you're running for your life, because Sea Kitten like is very exploratory, upright, and tries to do this kind of things, but here it's you know, kind of like twisting and scratching on the way back. So yeah, this can also mean, by the way, spying on social media. So were you checking on your ex? What was going on? Were you not certain about something? So this is what the energy you're bringing to this basically month. It looks like something hasn't been resolved. Something is still, you know, obviously on your mind. Something is still working on it. In the past, there is no past. So in the past, there is like somebody trying to still see the present. So upright would be somebody walking away and finally closing the account. This way, somebody doesn't want to walk away. Still emotional attachment to the past and trying to see what the past can say and talk about. So what are the karmic lessons for this month? Consequences. See, when you speak up, we get in trouble. It's kind of funny. Like, I mean, I wish that we don't talk sometimes, right? Because like this can always kind of like send a wrong message. So you got a little bit tangled up. I mean, it's a major arcana. It's like same as Hermit here, and it's also kind of suggesting, you know, that kind of like you have to start going little by little, and try to see the path out of it. And this is also the lesson that shows that not everything that kind of looks like, I mean, to be played with is to be played with, because sometimes you can just end up sort of like not finding a way out. So you are going through Five of Sky, right? So is there a victory for anybody? Like, these cats are upset because they're trying to defend their turf. This kitty is upset because, like, I mean, he doesn't feel accepted. So which one are you? Like, you are basically in a situation that is like no win. It's a lose for everybody around. I mean, if you are this one, you're just going to retreat, obviously. You're going to wait and vote for the better times to come. If you're these kitties, then, you know, you might be in attack mode. You might be, and maybe you're both. Maybe you're kind of like going through a situation because it will tell me consequences, and Sea Kitten, where you're going kind of like back and forth between these two. And yet, this is so far the only cup. So there is a tint of emotions in it. So you do, however, feel in charge. You do feel in control. You're kind of oblivious that maybe you hurt someone. You're oblivious that, you know, this kind of like turf fight is going on. And, you know, I don't know if, you know, you're aware that these are kind of the lessons to be just, to kind of like watch when you speak that can actually hurt, that kind of consequences are kind of lessons, and whatever we do, we get consequences and the others get consequences. So how do others see you? Do I need to explain? Really? Let's take a look how others see you. It says demon cat. So others see you like you are basically hissing and killing everything. So others also see you that you're connected to something in the past, that you have like enormous attraction to something. So I'm wondering if this has to do with this. I'm wondering if you are fiercely feeling. Okay, we will see it later. I have my wonders, but here it's you, Sagittarius. Here is you coming back on a throne. You want to come to yourself, and you know, this could be kind of the last kind of like fierce attack where you have to kind of like, you have to go to the stage first to kind of break these chains and like kind of like maybe spare the birdie before you get to kind of stage of being like this charismatic person who you really are, who you want to be, sexy, attractive, you know, like a really person who actually people want to naturally follow. There is no question. You don't have to tell them, follow me. People just follow you. However, to get there, you need to learn balance. And this is really the key over here. So this is the pentacle energy that came out, which is good because it's asking you to be grounded, right? So you don't have, well, you do have a fire energy. You're starting with your energy, but sort of is the energy of almost chase, that you are being chased, and it shows with the consequences, and it shows there were some words, and this shows the words. So you did something that you're now suffering the consequences for, and you are trying to find your balance in all of that. Alright guys, so let's go to the Gypsy spread, and this can actually be fun because now here we are going to be seeing all kinds of different energies and all kinds of storylines. So because this is kind of like parallel reading for single, for involved, for young, for different life circumstances, you'll have to figure out which one are you. So I'll just show you the main players in this particular movie. So this is a single woman over here. Then let's see, what else do we have? Here's a lover. Here is Lord, so it could be male interest, male interest. I mean, again, it can represent you as well, so just keep this in mind. Here is the wife, so that can be a person who is involved, you know, married person. And then we have a young woman over here. And let me see, what else do we have? That could be like secondary. This can be also basically card, significant card as well. So yeah, let's see then basically, let's see the story. So let's see first the married woman over here. So this woman is here right next to the child and next to the wedding, but the trajectory is some kind of disaster and kind of the news about the ending, after which, right, so this is the partner over here, so that is right next to him, and looks like in the near future some Sagittarians that are involved might experience breakup, and it's going to be a big blow up over the money and over the goods, huge, because you have the gift and you have the money over here, and that's not going to be good. And the guy in your life, one, he might have the wandering eye. He's just looking to take something away from you and sweet talk you into that. And while he's keeping secrets and thinking about it, right? And it looks like he did kind of like had a wandering eye for somebody that you know, somebody you felt, you know, maybe even close to, somebody that you maybe who was even your service. So what do you guys currently have? Currently, actually, you're completely oblivious to any of that, because you are looking at kind of like really comfortable life with extreme joyfulness in the marriage, you know, intimate moments, consistent life, and yet in front of you it's sorrow. It's one of the really heavy duty hitters here, and this is why I'm so kind of like wondering how come and why is this happening so suddenly. And I guess the answer is like not you, obviously, it's somebody else, which is too bad, which is horrible, right? Because you have right next to the sorrow, you have a widower, and then you have the letter. So a breakup, right? Somebody really crying over the breakup here. So I don't know if some of you are pregnant, or your partner is pregnant, or the guy you're involved with had somebody pregnant that he's breaking up with. It could be like, I mean, 3 layers actually over here, because it's 3 people. And this actually can also mean a child from this person, right? As well. And kind of like in this whole kind of circumstance, it's also connected to kind of like these things as like knighting the wedding over here. On the other hand, even though the trajectory is going to be obviously not be comfortable, it's going to be, you know, lots of arguing and fighting, and literally, like, I mean, you would want to shoot this person who is like messing your life. right? But just think about it, is like, I mean, huge secrets. You're going to discover something about your marriage, right? It might even overhear some kind of conversation which kind of has been told almost like without, you know, really realizing what they are basically telling you, and then you're going to kind of, is going to snap to you what was going on in your head. But other than that, you know, like, I mean, what's going to happen? Of course, you're going to have this tremendous impact, or you maybe are right now, some of you right now experiencing this sorrow, so you are already aware of that and kind of like trying to deal with issue at hand. And maybe this can represent your daughter, that you're just trying to kind of like find sort of like how you can renegotiate this kind of love, or, you know, and if this is kind of a divorce proceeding that you guys are going through, it's going to be extremely fair and fortunate. So all these kind of attempts are going to be thwarted. So nothing to worry about it. So I don't think, well, no, it will affect you. It will affect you. This is going to be a sudden crash. This is like the Tower card in Tarot deck. It's tremendous kind of like impact. It's something really that comes suddenly, that something's like really hard. In Tower you also see people jumping off, right? But this is actually even worse, because people are inside of this building also burning. And to make this actually worse, in the spread, like, I don't know, this is kind of coming with death, so it's ending something. It's coming with thief, right? These two and these three, I would say, the worst possible cards in the deck. And that's sort of like on the same trajectory, right, as you can tell. So I'm really worried about it. But also one of the guys, or one of the love interests, is actually having that around him. So it could be that way, that you will be dealing with someone who is basically getting rid, who's maybe getting divorced. It can be seen this way as well. You know, somebody who has to end it, and maybe this partner of his is not allowing this to be ended, and it's creating a whole bunch of problems, holding on to the money, holding hope in the marriage, holding him down with pretensions of loyalty, where for him that relationship doesn't exist, and he was with somebody else in that relationship, and absolutely, you know, he feels imprisoned, absolutely imprisoned, and that's how he feels. So if you guys are, you know, it's kind of amazing, like it's literally 3 or 4 different stories just even in the same timeline over here. So yeah, it's going to be something about somebody's marriage breaking up, seriously. But the person whose marriage is being broken up was not squeaky clean. That's in common for all the storylines. And that not squeaky clean kind of like try to get a fast one on it, and you know, and try to present it as a kind of lightness, and it's all good, kind of try to like kind of talk into his partner into that. So if you're a guy in this reading, and if this is what you are doing, you guys, just so you know that, you know, she is going to realize, she's going to move ahead and kind of like take advantage of you. You are going to get an enemy out of it. You know, it looks to me that this guy is just like simply not telling the truth. Like, you see, this communication should be happening, and he is interested in somebody else. He wants to communicate someone else, and there is this depth of communication. So yeah, that's this other woman opening up for him, and he's like mourning that the other woman like is basically not there for him, funny enough. So if you have a 3-party situation, and the guy is basically here, he's interested in someone else, but that someone else is not necessarily interested in him, and that someone else was also his friend. It was a lot of communication, and it looks like that he also was not very nice to that someone else either, because look, she has this pride, and jealousy and desperation, and being like really kind of sick over that. And really she was kind of hoping in these communications with them to kind of like bear fruit into something really nice, right? Like she was hoping this communication to kind of end up in celebration, in something highlighted, and you know, here is the reunion. But you know, it's kind of like really interesting thing, because she is going to get it, but I don't know if she's going to get it with him. So okay, let's go. Single ladies, what will be happening with you single ladies? You single ladies, Sagittarius, you do have somebody from your past who has been doing some kind of tricky things on you, and you kind of put an end to it. You put an end to it. You kind of took care of yourself, or still taking care. I still see the sadness, and I still see longing for the some of you, and you're more or less longing the connection that you had with this person than love, because there is a friend in communication that you kind of don't no longer have, and you are really craving to reunite with this person, really craving, and there is this feeling of melancholy because of lacking it. And you know, I think you will, however, come to some kind of conclusion, right? Because you have here, you know, waiting and melancholy and surprise, and then you have priest. But it's kind of like it's a misnomer, because this priest is more or less a judge. So if somebody was promising to you that they will break up the relationship and they will get back to you, they actually will. The only question is if you are going to take this person back. Here, Chefy, he got some bad comment about you. Yet. Let my baby touch her. So, single ladies, you are getting stronger. You are getting focused on your future. See here, you have friend, and then you have a celebration, then you have a scholar. Like you literally, like you really worked on yourself. You healed yourself. You cried your eyes out to basically be sick. But you know, that kind of also was a karmic lesson. Lots of signs, almost every sign, if not all, were going through these karmic lessons. And looks like here single ladies are actually ahead of it. So this is really good, because look, you have this surprise. So this guy is actually getting his, like, I mean, fishing, and he's getting actually money in it. So it's going to be some really big reward. Really good kind of like thing happening, and fortunate thing happening. And this obviously is something happening from somebody from the past who can be an ex-partner, right? Or it could be like, you know, that you've been dealing with the married guy, because it shows enemy and foe right next to each other, so they can represent a couple that used to be couple at one point. Come, Sophie, come on, come on, come on. This is now a big spread. You're a good girl. So that's kind of like for single women. And on this trajectory over here, unfortunately from this past relationship, you have, let's say, quote, inherited mistrust. And you know, and it shows here Melody, and it shows Doctor here. So it's still a way to go for you to feel fully, let's call it, at home, to feel grounded, to feel as better things are coming. And you will do it, because you're going to do lots of readings. You're going to kind of look deep inside of yourself, kind of like try to open yourself to communication, and try to kind of like see that even if you reconcile, that you're doing that on a kind of like wise and friendship base first, right? So friends first, then reconciliation for you single ladies. So let's see if you're a guy, if you maybe represent any of these guys, if you were kind of like, if you were the one who had a third party, then I've told you already the story, right? It's going to be that you were trying to shower gifts on somebody. On the others, they were trying to present, like, I mean, rosy picture. Everything is like so nice and rosy, and yet you kind of suffer, like yourself, from some kind of like depression. And you know, you feel, well, look at it, you have a soldier, you have a thief, and child. Like you kind of like are leaving things in the past. You're leaving somebody in the past. You're leaving a woman in the past. You're leaving marriage in the past. you're leaving problems in the past. It kind of like it's extremely heavy energy. Look at this: death, misfortune, thief, soldier, right? Wife, wedding. Like ridiculous. Like it's like weight scale would not look like this. It would really look like this, right? And it is about something that you did. Like, I mean, this is as pleasure seekers, and it sounds like to me that you were looking for pleasure. You were thinking you would get away with doing that, and then basically everybody got hurt. You got hurt. They got hurt. You lost both of these candidates over here. You lost one because you wanted to get rid of one, and you lost another one because he or she got rid of you. So very complicated situation for in here. And the last storyline would be like this other, like, let's say, lover that is named here. It could be also you ladies. So this is actually lovely here, because look, also it's trajectory of having kind of third party, something taken, conversation, intimacy, literally a lover, also coming from a relationship with somebody younger. Could be younger couples or some younger people here, or also could mean somebody who has a child from the marriage, and because of that feels bound to kind of that situation. So this person also is kind of like, you see, could be like false promises, lies, promises of kind of joint future together, because this is knighting this, and person who kind of like tries to have communication. So single women actually could have two options, because they're knighting two guys here as well. So you see, single women would actually wait on a solution to present themselves, but this guy who is actually not going through divorce is also going to try to get reunited. So if you have somebody who also is from the past, but not necessarily married, but it was some kind of lies involved in your relationship, in your love, this still might actually be some kind of reconciliation over here. It was also somebody with whom you were friends. So Sagittarius, it sounds like many of you are revisiting the past, and like you lost somebody who was like a double purpose or double role in your life. It was both friend and a lover and a confidant, or actually a triple role, and it was somebody you were hoping to be somebody you're calling home. But here this guy lover, and this reunion here, ladies, might be very fruitful and actually really end up in a really big happy ending, like, because you have cheerfulness and consolidation over here, and then you have the house and messaging. So this could mean revisiting and coming back to something that you thought was dead, because you thought you left it, you thought you buried it, you lost your loyalty, you're not investing into this anymore, you stopped communicating, there was no communication, you just kind of like, you had the Torah over there, so like really sad depression, and it's kind of coming around like 180 degrees. So yeah, look at this, and you're ending up like with this enormous fortune and even possible marriage. And this is definitely reunion. Okay, reunion is from somebody from the past, but this is like double confirming it here. Friend, hey Matrix, with, like, I mean, somebody from your past. The old woman, wise woman, would represent somebody from the past, and also somebody who is not only from the past, but from also long time ago past. So what else do I see here? Let's see. How about this guy? Yeah, and this guy, or you, or like one of these women, and one of these basically characters in the storylines, is going to come really soon. This is happening really soon, like literally right away. The person who caused you the sadness and depression would come with a big surprise, which is going to make you extremely happy. So I would say basically altogether is okay, that no matter which guy comes to you ladies, or like whoever, like ex-partner comes back to you, They will have some baggage with them, that's for sure, but they are leaving that baggage in the past. While one guy might still kind of like try to sweeten kind of the deal with some kind of sweet lies about love, but it's going to be really quickly kind of like shed and kind of like move forward. So this part of the story is like pretty heavy, but this part of the story is not. So younger women, younger Sagittarians here, so this is the last storyline that I have here, might also have a competition, and they have decided to also kind of call it quits with this, but they will actually meet somebody who will be with somebody else, right? And this is why they will feel like they were kind of cheated, right? Because this is a third person and lies, and instead going in that direction, they're actually going to try to negotiate this deal and either leave this guy behind. You see, like, this is a merchant, like you can see ships are actually sailing away, and kind of leave that and kind of chase the new love, and the new love, and kind of be open to surprises, and also be open to possibly reuniting with this guy maybe at a later time when people mature and the dust settles. So let's pick now love cards here and see, you know, what kind of love messages we get for you, Saggies. Ooh, we got tons. Whoa. True love, you deserve love, codependency, and retreat. Okay, let's start with codependency, because I see lots of codependency over here. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. Yeah, we have pleasure seekers over here for sure. Yeah, we have joyfulness and falseness. So just be careful that when you make a decision, if you go back, because this reunion seems to revolve over like three people, yeah, in 3 storylines out of like 5. So just be careful if you come back, that you're coming back for the right reasons, that you discuss the issue that you broke you up, so you don't repeat it again. Retreat means that maybe you need to spend some time on your own, thinking what you need to do or why you do it. It says it's time to disconnect from the world. Or you know, if you are this married woman, you might still want to try to see, okay, let's kind of like talk about it. Let's see what is going on, because I'm actually the most concerned for some married actually people here, because this is going to be sudden and very unpleasant. So just like what you can do is like maybe just watch the money and budget to prepare yourself, because you deserve love and you're lovable. And that's another thing, that some of you didn't feel this way going through some kind of heartache, but rest assured the true love is coming up. So this is the romance of a lifetime. So for some of you it's going to be a completely new affair. It's a karmic lesson. You have healed, and if you're going to go back to this person, it's going to be on a completely new ground, where you're going to kind of demand kind of new things. Or on the other hand, if this is just a reflection of the story, if you are the one who wronged somebody else, and then you are going to really try to work on winning their trust and understand they have been going through thick and thin for you, and they kind of like had this loyalty and hope, everything for you, but you kind of like neglected them through basic involvement of the circumstances and of the third party, and like you kind of turned back to them when they needed help, right? Because I see that turning, like you see him turning back in both instances, right, when the person was sick. And this is not a good ground for a relationship if the person is not there for you in a circumstance. So hence it's going to, like, you're going to be very careful. But also the circumstances sometimes can deserve attention, because when people are in pain themselves, it's really hard for them to govern themselves properly. So I guess if there is a second go around, you might consider that and take in account, but you will be very careful about it. And I mean, and I think that's a great idea. So what I'm going to do last, I'm going to go and quickly check Lenormand over here. So let's see the ladies first, just to see quickly like the outside influences for the upcoming month. Come on, Versace ladies, from March 21st to April 20th. Let's see. Oh, the bear. Yeah, pretty much like what we've seen in Gypsy spread, ladies, right? So here, the child, remember we had a child over there, so it's a new beginning, which you hope to be kind of like really the key to your happiness. But for some of you, it will be crushed to bear, and commitment is going to be broken off. And it was not something that actually is a big surprise, even though it's going to come as a sudden, and it's going to be a secret which is be jumped on you, and you will feel it as a betrayal and completely kind of like feeling a fog. But actually, if you really already know that the relationship has been kind of gnawing for a while, and it was a problem, and it was problematic, and it really took a lots of work, maybe too much work. You know, when a car is dead, it's dead, and like it's kind of reviving it at some point basically has to be kind of done. And for those ladies that are married, you're going to be very protective of the kids, and kind of like maybe even react by striking back the snake, kind of putting the venom back, but ultimately be very protective about your loved ones. For single women, and this can actually mean different story. This can mean that actually, you know, the betrayal that you had already happened, and you're fully aware of that. And even though you are still willing to start with this person, you kind of like are going to insist on this later parts of it and make this person kind of like come clean and come up with the solutions to how to become transparent and how basically to bear the cross that brought you to this state. This is the only way forward, basically, if you really think about it. So let's see for the guy in question, so to kind of like get a maybe better read on that matter. Where is the gentleman? Here he is. So let's see here, the guy in the question. So that could be either you, or that could be the person of interest. So for the month, transition of Aries, for Sagittarius, and transitions of Aries, for either your love interest, and that could be also you, ladies, as well. Because as I said, there are lots of energies over here. To sure that nothing is lost. Okay. This is always looked upright, so don't panic. But I'm flipping them over. Even though I've seen that some people are reading them down, like I'm in reversed as well. Okay. So gentlemen in your life, or this storyline basically say that, you know, a guy in your life, or Sagittarian guys, are feeling still going through the fog. It could be the issue of children, or it could be the issue of new beginnings, being at a crossroads, and you feel it's really hard because it's just a mountain that you have to kind of, you know, go around. It's like very big obstacle right in front of you. But you might have some kind of lucky break, and you know, you might have, as we've seen over there, you know, obviously luck dating, so these are lovebirds, and also he might be looking for a new job, or there is like an issue with finances over here, and again dating and a social dating. So that's kind of like that three-party situation, kind of like having a little bit of a wandering eye, and you know, kind of like playing the game on two ends, and ultimately coming out public, ultimately kind of not living the secret anymore that he was doing this previously. So guys, I think this is much better than you had before you were like drenched in pain, and now it looks like you are really coming and finding your ground. You are opening yourself to love, and for some of you that love is going to come, and it's going to come very, very fast, but on a different level. Now you're much wiser, and you know what to expect, and you know what to demand, and I really like to see that. So So, Saggies, my private readings are available. I'm more welcome than happy to kind of talk to you about it. So send me an email, join Facebook, whichever way of communication you want. And yeah, check your other issues of weeklies and monthlies. And I love you until then. Take care.